Hey, I'm Lex,
And I'm Gibby.
and this is Porch Swing People.
For all you listeners, you know that we bring on a guest each week. We get to hear their stories about their past, what's currently going on, and their aspirations and goals in the future. Hey, Lex, let me ask you a question. What is a positive lesson that you've learned from a past teacher or mentor that you remember?
Actually, I have an answer for this question off the top of my head. It's from a time when I was not in school, but when I bumped into a former teacher outside of school. It was my 11th grade English teacher, and I bumped into her when I was nearing the end of my undergraduate program to become a teacher. So we were chatting. I loved being in her class, so it was fun to catch up. But once she learned that I was in my program to become a teacher, the way that she carried the conversation and the way that she talked to me, her tone, it seemed to instantly shift from that of, talking to a former student who she really liked to work with, I'm assuming.
Yeah, they did.
To talking to, someone in her ranks, like another educational colleague. And I could tell that she was viewing me like an equal. That has always stuck with me in the way that you treat people as if they are under you or as if they are equal to you. They can sense that, and it really impacts how they feel. It impacts how they're perceiving that you are looking at them, but it also really impacts their own sense of self-worth. And she really elevated that for me that day, and that's meant a lot to me.
That's awesome.
Yeah. And I think that in our current world, where everything is feeling very heavy and very challenging, especially today, if we could all treat each other, people we don't even know, when we encounter them, treating them like they are our equals and they are supposed to be here and they belong and they are important and valued, what would that do overall in our society?
It would set a new paradigm, wouldn't it?
It could be a big shift.
Yeah.
What about you? Can you remember that far back?
I do.
I'm just kidding. You do?
Oh, yeah.
Can you think of a teacher who made a positive impact on you?
Yes. As a freshman in high school, I went in and thinking, we just finished in 8th grade. One of the big check boxes was geography. And so I went into thinking, hey, you know what? I'm going to take the geography elective because it's already kind of fresh in my mind. I don't think I'm cheating the system here. And I get in, thinking, okay, this will be, well, it was not because I signed up and there was two of us, Hector, a friend of mine. We both signed up for this, and it was a pre-college course. So we're
you
freshmen.
signed up for a pre-college geography
we
elective as freshmen.
But it
And
didn't
the counselors
say.
let you sign.
Yeah.
Who let you sign up for this?
I don't
Different
know.
times. They would have flagged
Yeah.
that nowadays.
And so the first day there's all juniors and seniors, and then there's these two freshmen, and she looked at us and she goes, I don't know if you guys are aware of this, but this is a pre-college geography course. It's not going to be easy. And she went through the curriculum with everybody, and she kept staring at us. And it was like a 10-page essay at the end as our final project. And she looked at us and she goes, and everybody, there is a standard. There is only one standard, and that's my standard. Everybody will meet it, or you'll have to repeat the course or drop it. And then she looked at us.
Wow. That's a lot of looking at you guys.
Oh, yeah. And she was brutal. She did not, she hammered the two of us, the others as well. I got a C minus, and she was so kind because she wasn't going to cut us any slack. But she loved us. She was hard. She had expectations, and you either made those expectations or you didn't. And she wasn't cutting anybody. And it was my favorite teacher. She was so just, she was brutal. And
She was brutal.
and
But she's who you remember, because the people who hold you to high expectations are the people that you remember.
that's exactly right. And it was probably my first encounter of adversity outside of a family setting.
Huh. Interesting.
And we can go into different types of adversity, and so it taught me a lesson. Hey, not everybody out there, depending on what you're doing, and it helped me when I got to buds, or even
to not give up.
well, not to give up, and the expectations. Here's the expectations, and you either make it or you don't. And so
But you know what high expectations does for a kid? It makes them believe that your teacher believes that you can meet them. By setting that for you guys, these little, 14-year-olds in a class of 17 and 18-year-olds, she is saying, I believe you can be here and I believe you can make it. And that does wonders for somebody like you.
Yeah, somebody like me. Yeah. The other thing is at the end, we found out how much she really cared for us.
How?
She personally came up and said, "You guys, I am so impressed." And she just went through all of it. And I'm like, this is not the same person that just beat us for a whole...
She probably remembered you two the rest of her life.
Oh,
and
yeah.
thought of you fondly.
Well, I don't know if it was fondly, but...
Well, I'm excited to bring Devin on. You've met him a few times.
Yes.
He's very wonderful. And I'm excited to see what he has to say for this question, because it's a pretty good question.
Let's bring him on.
Hey, Devin.
Hey, Devin.
Hey.
How you doing?
Yeah, it's so good to see you both. Been a while. Doing all right? Thanks.
It's been a while. Thanks for joining us on the pod.
Yes, thank you very
thanks for
much.
having me.
Hey, Devin, can you tell us and your listeners a little bit about yourself?
Yeah, so my name is Devin. I live and work in New York. Yeah, been doing what I can. Just get out, meet community, and enjoy these beautiful summer days.
What's the weather like right now?
We just got through a heat wave, so it's cooling down. It was upper 90s past couple of days, but expecting rain tomorrow and the next day. But yeah, this weekend was nice and temperate. Got out, enjoyed a couple of birthday parties with some good friends.
Devin, that was a really great description of the weather. Have you thought about becoming a forecaster?
Oh, I hadn't considered a meteorologist school. Not sure what that would look like. But yeah, it seems like a good stable job. There's always weather. Yeah.
There is always weather.
Yes. What are you doing for fun or hobby? What's your background on that?
Yeah. So I like to keep active with a handful of things. I've just come off of an injury not too long ago to my knee. So getting back to ultimate frisbee, to hiking, hoping to get some camping done this summer and fall. Yeah, and then in terms of hobbies, time spent with friends, usually around Dungeons and Dragons table or some other kind of game or just hanging out.
Yeah.
We've never played Dungeons and Dragons.
Oh,
It's a card game?
tabletop role playing. You
All right,
could
yeah.
use a board, certainly. I've been making terrain for campaigns, that sort of thing. There definitely is a pretty steep learning curve, especially for spellcasters. And just a broad overview, Dungeons & Dragons is a fantasy role-playing game. Wizards of the Coast, the parent company, has spent decades at this point developing and testing different elements to the game. So you could go through life as a warrior or a fighter, a barbarian, someone who swings swords around, axes, whatever it might be. If you want to delve into some of the more mystical or magical elements of the fantasy world, then you could be a spellcaster. And that's where it gets really complicated. It would kind of discourage new folks from jumping right into a full caster, because there are so many spells that folks could learn that have so many different effects, and some are a lot more complicated than others. But,
Yeah. Where's your position in this?
there's someone facilitating this game while everyone else is kind of immersed in their own characters, right? That's the dungeon master or the game master. So I play in a campaign. I'm a level 5 ranger. His name is Gamaken. He's a little frog fella. and I'm starting to run a game right now. So I'm building the world and kind of setting events that could happen, and tailoring those to the experiences or directions that my players, kind of hand to me. Right? If they decide to go into a tavern, well, okay, who's going to be in that tavern? Kind of what is this local population going to look or act like? What are the broader conflicts that are going on in the region, on the continent, that they might experience, run into, and affect in the long run?
So is it stage set like the bar scene when on Star Wars with the funny looking people? I mean, is that the same thing?
Sure. Yeah, absolutely. Like you enter a tavern, there's smoke in the air, a band playing an upbeat song. You see across the way Greedo, a green alien with horns on his head. He's clearly armed, something along those lines. Really give them the experience of, seeing this bar themselves, even if it's just imaginative. So in person, which is what I'm working on right now as a dungeon master. I've started devoting some time to building maps out, right? So physical pieces that could set down on a table, and then characters could move there. Little lads, whatever it might be to represent themselves. Really, anything that fits in like a 1 inch by 1 inch square would work for most characters.
Each event, do you have the same crew that you're doing this with, or do you invite more people? Or if somebody is playing and their character gets wiped out, are they like, sorry, dude, you're no longer playing with us?
Well, actually, is this your answer for what is a hobby that you're currently enjoying?
Yeah, I would say so. That's what I had planned on. Yeah.
Whoops.
I had planned on
Jumped
talking
ahead.
about, the design for maps, that sort of thing. But certainly the game at large, we could go on for hours and hours.
It sounds like it.
Yeah, and it's
So
a lot of
tell
people
us
have done a lot
about
of incredible things.
tell us about your map designing.
Yeah, so it started about a year ago. I was playing a game, Gamaken, that ranger, that frog ranger, is in the Humble Woods. That's a setting that was developed. So Gamaken's home is in Winnowing Reach, which is a small village right off adjacent to swamplands, right? So he spent his youth kind of exploring this area and seeing what there is to see. So when I first sat down to build out a map, I wanted to pay some homage to that. We'd gone through a couple of adventures in the swamp at that point. So each of those kind of events that we had stumbled into, I incorporated in some way in this board. And now it's a physical representation of those good times that we had there. And it lends itself very well to any other kind of opportunity that a group might have stumbling through a swamp.
Wow, that's so cool.
It's very involved. Hey, Devin, I was talking to Lex before you came on about someone that left a lasting effect on her, specifically a teacher or a mentor. Tell us somebody that gave you a positive lesson that you learned from in the past that you still remember.
Sure. Yeah, absolutely. So my senior year of high school, I had a chemistry teacher. His name was Charlie, and he was so great. I'd been teaching for many years, and I'm sure picked up a lot of lessons and built that experience from the folks that he had worked with. One of the things that he taught us was start at the beginning. So of course, big problems are going to require a lot of work to get through, but you can't start right in the middle of that. You got to backtrack a bit, find out where things really begin. So start at the beginning was one of the lessons that he left me with, but most impactful or the most meaningful, something that I really took to heart at the time, based on what I was going through, was this idea that you're more than just a number in a box, right? Going through the education system, of course, the end result is your grade, right? That is what demonstrates all of the effort that you put in throughout the semester, throughout the year, whatever it might be, right?
Mm-hmm.
And at the time, I was struggling. The year before, I had had a pretty severe concussion. I had had some seizures. So I really wasn't engaged in school in as deep a way as I had been before. It was tough to really lock in and feel valuable and like what I was doing was meaningful, knowing that my grades didn't reflect the effort that I was putting in. Right?
Mm-hmm.
You can try as much as you want, but sometimes things fall through. We're people. There's a lot more going on. If you don't learn something before a test, well, you have the rest of your life to learn that. You got a bad grade on it. That's not the end of things, right? You're more than
Hmm.
that bad grade. So it was really meaningful to me, having a teacher, someone in this position to kind of sit us all down together in class and say, like, this doesn't define you. There's so much more that you bring to the table, that you bring to the world. Then, you're great at the end of the semester.
I love that your teacher allowed you to give yourself some grace. It's just a
Hmm.
moment in time.
Have you seen Charlie since you graduated?
Yeah, yeah. So right after graduation, my first semester in college, I finished my Eagle Scout.
Mm-hmm.
Part of that is honoring some mentor that left a meaningful lesson with you, and I decided on Charlie at that point, uh,
That's awesome.
because yeah, like, there was so much that he really helped me get through. If it weren't for giving myself that grace, taking a step back and addressing things from the beginning, then I'm not sure that I would have had the wherewithal to dedicate my time to scouts, to dedicate my time to school, to dedicate myself to other hobbies without kind of losing it at some point, right? So I
Mm-hmm.
invited him to my Eagle Scout ceremony. Actually, as I had gotten up there to deliver this speech about what a meaningful person he was, the meaningful lessons that he had left me with, he was in the bathroom for all of it. So he didn't hear not a single word. Yeah.
Oh no.
Uh, he came out later. I tried to, hit it briefly. Actually, I saw him just last year.
That's so cool. Can you think of a time since you graduated that you used these lessons to help work through a problem? I'm particularly interested in the start from the beginning lesson.
Hmm. Yeah, starting from the beginning, uh, absolutely. With any interpersonal conflict that I've run into, with friends, with coworkers, whatever it might be, it's always easy to kind of identify the problem starting when you see a problem. But more often
Mm-hmm.
than not, there was something done beforehand that led us down this road, that led us to this eventuality of things kind of boiling over or becoming more apparent. So taking
Mm-hmm.
that step back and really acknowledging, like, okay, what could I have done better last week, or was there something that I wasn't mindful of earlier on that led to this. So offering kind of that understanding, that grace, that's a hard thing to do. I'm not saying that I always do it, of course. Taking
Sure.
that time to really acknowledge things or give space in that way. But when I do, I feel like it leads to more meaningful conversations and a better understanding of the problem as a whole and the actors that contribute to it. Uh, it's not as if anybody is going out of their way to start trouble more often than not, right?
Mm-hmm. Wow, that is a great answer.
Devin, what does your T-shirt say? Does that say Blue Envy?
Blue Envy, yeah, they're a band that I saw play locally. I think they're from
Okay.
Rochester or Buffalo, but really great stuff. Yeah, you can check them out on Spotify. Blue Envy Band.
All
Our
right.
podcast is also on Spotify.
Oh,
Yeah.
What genre?
it seemed pretty funky. Yeah, but
Pretty
had
funky.
that immediacy of rock and roll to really kind of keep things going. But oh my gosh, yeah, they were a great band. It was a lot of fun to see them
Cool.
play live. Yeah, there's a local spot called the Bundy that hosts a lot of artists that come from the region, small bands. Yeah, it's a great place. Really appreciate being able to support them and enjoy shows in the same way.
Before a band gets real big and you have the opportunity to see them,
Bragging rights.
that is, yeah, basically. Well, thanks for telling us about your old teacher, Charlie. Tell us about another connection with somebody that you are really valuing these days.
Yeah. So I met my partner a little over a year ago. We were working together on a job fair focused on clean energy jobs and anything in that kind of green sector. We both work with organizations that help connect people to state grants, funding for things like insulation or upgrading heating appliances, getting into heat pumps, which can heat and cool with electric. A great way to reduce your carbon emissions. Unfortunately, not getting as much funding as they had a little while ago. But meeting her and getting to work together towards these goals and kind of really flush out a lot of things in this space has been so meaningful.
Mm-hmm.
It's difficult to stay engaged in big, heavy topics for so long when you're kind of
Mm-hmm.
on your own. You just burn yourself out, it seems. But having someone to work towards those goals with is so much more helpful. And to be able to share time and space with someone so wonderful is just, I couldn't have asked for more.
Well, that's cool.
That is wonderful. Why don't you tell us about her?
Oh, shucks. Yeah. Yeah, her name is Erin. She comes from Long Island. She, yeah, has a love for music, the environment, and just being outdoors and experiencing things. Yeah, eager to learn in so many, many ways. Whenever my father is working on a new project, she's eager to kind of help out and see what there is to learn there. That ambition, that drive is something I really value and appreciate having in a partner.
That's cool. We're going to go down to a rabbit hole. So, what is your father does with the missions or
He does like gardening projects and things
Oh,
like that,
okay.
right?
Yeah, he's got a small rock garden and a waterfall that feeds down into a pond with fish, frogs, all sorts of things. So keeping plants engaged and active in that space. Our garden in the back. Yeah, there's always something going on. I'd like to have a nice restful weekend here or there, but he's got other ideas. Yeah, can't be helped.
Yeah, he has a real talent for it too. So that makes me so happy for you, Devin. It sounds like you and Erin have a lot in common. Why don't you tell us something about Erin that is different from you that has made you a better person?
I think Erin does a much better job offering that time and space to come to an understanding before reacting than I do, and seeing that in a partner and knowing that I should be emulating that helps train or practice that kind of skill, right? Again, it's easy to kind of react quickly. There are also a lot of times that I feel like things should be done more quickly. That we got a task, let's just go for it.
Mm-hmm.
So she's a little bit more methodical when she moves.
Yeah, there's no need to rush through most things, and I'm coming to understand that more and more later on. Yeah, and certainly some things have a time crunch, but we don't need to beat ourselves up about it.
I think I could probably take a page out of Erin's book when it comes to, hey, we're not in a huge hurry. Just let's think this out and then we'll act.
Sounds like Erin is pretty awesome. Thanks for sharing a little bit about Erin. I mean, you guys sound like the best pair. Am I wrong?
Oh, I couldn't say that. I think she's pretty great. But,
Well, Devin, here is a random question. You've talked about past teachers and your amazing partner, but this one's really important. Tell us about a product that you swear by, that you think everybody needs to have.
Well, at least one in every home would be my vision for a better America, a better world. Something that can really bring people together in a way that we don't see anymore is the Squatty Potty, right? So this is a device that goes underneath your toilet. You can plop your feet up right on top of it when you're doing your business, and it really just lets you breathe in a way that you don't typically get to with your feet flat on the floor. I gotta swear by it, Any chance?
Are we talking about like a bench for a stool for your feet?
Yes. Yeah. It's a footstool, but it is ergonomically designed specifically for, as Devin put it, doing your business. Is that what you said?
Oh my gosh, it's hilarious.
I can't believe you haven't seen commercials about this.
I have not. I don't know what you guys are talking about.
I'm sure you'd get a kick out of the commercials.
Well, you're going to have to send a pic on it, or I'll look it up when we're done here.
Well, you know that in there's countries where the toilets are just flat on the ground and you're squatting down.
Yes.
Because that is actually the best position for
doing your business.
Sure. Do we have any other terms? I don't think so. But the way that toilets are designed in America are horrible for positioning yourself, especially shorter people.
I'm envisioning people all over the world or all over the country when they're sitting down, their feet are just like kicking because they can't reach the floor. But now there's a device there.
Your toes can reach. Your toes can reach. But that's not helpful.
But this Squatty Potty device will help from feet dangling.
Absolutely.
Devin, are you getting paid for this
promotion?
Promo?
Yeah. Ooh, yeah.
Why don't you tell us a little bit about your experience discovering this?
The discovery. Honestly, I couldn't tell you where it
You
first
went over at a
came
friend's
into my
house and
life.
like, what's this thing?
No, no, I think just appeared one day, like a miracle, and my life has been so much better ever since. Honestly, I think it speaks to a bigger disconnect between people and the natural world. The way that we've disconnected ourselves from this. Like you were saying, it's just it's a more natural way to squat down to do your business. We didn't have toilets 10,000 years ago, so it's just yeah, a way to reconnect. Yeah.
But okay, but in all seriousness, Devin, you bring up a great point about kind of just our society disconnecting from humanity in general. And, the squatty potty is a very easy way to take a step forward in reconnection.
Yeah.
But
First step.
thank you for that. And it sounds silly, Gibby, but it's really not. It can be a life changing thing.
All right, I'm excited. I want to see a picture. And then if Lex, you said
You
you
see a
had one.
picture.
Yeah, I mean not somebody with their feet dangling, but
Well, you know what, Devin? When we got ours, we were picking them out, and I went with the like bamboo, like wooden one because
Oh, sure,
I thought
collapsible.
It
Yeah.
looked, no, it's not collapsible. It just
Oh.
looks really nice. It's
All right. Yeah.
kind of fancier than like
aesthetically
plastic.
pleasing.
Aesthetically pleasing, yes.
Sure.
What's yours like, Devin?
Mine is white plastic. Yeah.
White plastic, yeah.
I've gotten a couple over the years, like any housewarming or birthday when I know someone doesn't have this in their life. And then, in a year's
You
time.
do? You give that away? That's awesome.
I'm gonna
Oh, of
give
course,
one
yeah.
away sometime.
There you go. Yeah.
You know what? A go-to housewarming gift that I like is to give is like a fire extinguisher, or I don't know if you've seen those fire blankets they're all wrapped up, but that you can use them for like kitchen fires and things like that. We have one hanging up in our kitchen. Those are really easy, functional gifts as well. So
Yeah.
just squatty potty, and someone comes with a fire extinguisher. You're good.
Yeah. Yeah. A fire extinguisher sounds. It almost makes a squatty potty sound silly.
No. Okay, so yes. So this has been a positive change in your life, Devin. This leads us to our last question. Other than this positive change that you are giving to our guests, thank you, Devin. What is a positive change that you hope to make sometime in your life or within your community?
Yeah. So I've got ambitions to start some kind of neighborhood network, a way for people in my community. I live at the end of a cul-de-sac, so we are relatively close together. It lends itself well to this kind of project or initiative, I would think, right? The idea being that no family is an island, right? That we're all in this together, whether or not we really recognize that. And in a lot of ways, that's been intentionally disconnected, something that was removed from society or communities, right? Like if you think about it, how many hammers does a family need, right? Maybe one or two. But if you're a community of 50 houses, then do you need 100 hammers for all of those? Really? Where like a collective shed where you have maybe 5 would probably suffice, right? It's not as if everybody is using their hammer every day. Same goes for lawnmowers, weed whackers, whatever it might be, right? So if yours stops working for whatever reason, then do you have to go out and get this expensive repair done when you could just borrow a tool from your neighbor, or collectively buy, some kind of material or something to repair, or lend itself well to whatever projects the community has going on, right? So I think that starting it off with something like community gardens would be a good way to get people to grow together. Excuse the pun. But yeah, just acknowledging the most fundamental need of food and security, and addressing that as a collective rather than, I've got mine, you get yours, regardless of the negative impacts that leads to.
Yeah, very cool.
Yeah, I'd heard not too long ago that the biggest predictor of fatalities for older folks is not economic conditions, it's not their previous health history, it's their connections. Do they have people in their neighborhood, in their life, that are routinely checking up on them? If we were to experience another major heat wave and the grid or somebody's air conditioner were to go out, where do they turn? Of course
Yeah.
they would be welcome to stop in to my home and experience that cool air that could be life saving. But do they know that? Do they know that they could come over and ask me without explicitly saying so? I'm sure people don't want to impose, and again, they want to be independent. They want to settle their life themselves, but we're seeing more and more often that that's just not feasible for everybody, given rising costs, rising temperatures, anything along those lines, the severity of storms and weather. So addressing that in a communal way, I think, is the only thing that really makes sense.
Well, Devin, that's awesome. You're gonna have to put some flyers out around your cul-de-sac and your neighbors so they can listen to our podcast, and then they'll know, hey, you can go over to Devin's and get cooled off.
Hey, you
Or
want them to
borrow a
know that
hammer.
they can go to your house? Share our podcast with them.
There you go.
You're such a wonderful person. I think that's a really awesome answer and a really wonderful goal. But what I like about it the most is not that you said, I really want to have an impact on the community and bring people together. You had, you just listed off 3 different ways that could happen. I think that's amazing that you have concrete examples of how to make a goal like that happen. So thanks for sharing that, Devin.
Yeah, thanks, Devin.
Happy to. Yeah. I hope it takes off.
So, Devin, why don't you leave us with a poetry reading?
A poetry reading? Oh, I've actually got Walt Whitman somewhere around here. Are you sure?
Yes.
Sure.
That's so obscure. You obviously, setting him up, he did not know that he was going to get to recite some type of poetry.
I know that he is into poetry.
Really? I had no idea.
Well, you don't know Devin.
I don't know Devin. What I really didn't know is you were setting him up. I think that's cool.
I didn't know how he was going to react to that.
Well, obviously he took it serious.
Yeah, I haven't read as much lately, but it's certainly impactful for me at a time. Actually, my first tattoo, I got this one with Jamie and Lexi years ago. It reads, "And luckier," and has a sprout coming up, which relates to a song of myself, number 6, which starts with a child asked, "What is the grass?" All right, here we go. The child asked, "What is the grass?" fetching it to me with full hands. How could I answer the child? I do not know what it is any more than he. I guess it must be the flag of my disposition, out of hopeful green stuff woven. Or I guess it is the handkerchief of the Lord, a scented gift and remembrancer, designedly dropped, bearing the owner's name some way in the corners, that we may see and remark and say, whose? Or I guess the grass is itself a child, produced babe of vegetation. Or I guess it is a uniform hieroglyphic, and it means sprouting alike in broad zones and narrow zones, growing among black folks as among white, Canuck, Tuckahoe, Congressman, Cup. I give them the same, I receive them the same. And now it seems to me the beautiful uncut hair of graves. Tenderly will I use you, curling grass. And maybe you transpire from the breasts of young men. And maybe you are from old people, or from offspring taken. And maybe if I had known them, I would have loved them, soon from their mother's laps. And here you are, the mother's laps. The grass is very dark to be from the white heads of old mothers, darker than the colorless beards of old men, dark to come from under the faint red roofs of mouths. Oh, I perceive after all so many uttering tongues, and I perceive they do not come from the roofs of mouths for nothing. I wish I could translate the hints about the dead young men and women, and the hints about old men and mothers from the offspring taken soon from their mothers' laps. What do you think has become of the young and old men? What do you think has become of the women and children? They are alive and well somewhere. The smallest sprout shows there is really no death, and if ever there was, it led forward life. It does not wait at the end to arrest it, and ceased the moment life appeared. All goes onward and outward. Nothing collapses, and to die is different from what anyone supposed, and luckier.
Very cool.
That was awesome. You're really good at reading poetry.
I know how to read. Yeah.
Well, thanks, Devin, for reading that to us.
Yeah, thanks, Dev.
And thanks for joining us on the podcast. I hope it was a good experience.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for having me.
Yes, you were fun, Devin. Thank you for joining us.
Have a great day. Enjoy the rain.
Yeah.
Thanks, everybody.
Wish it were raining here. Yep. See you,
Bye,
Devin.
Devin.
Talk to you later.
Hey, so how do you think that went?
I was going to ask you the same thing. I thought it went very well. It's been a minute since I've obviously have seen Devin or got to speak with him. You know, one thing I forgot to ask him is if he
What?
recognized the background of my
Oh.
studio.
It's a little bit dark.
Yeah, on purpose for me.
Purpose. Oh, because it's hot.
It's hot, yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, Devin took a trip across the country with Lex and
When my wife and I moved out here, we were moving in the RV because we were planning to live in the RV with our 3 pups for a couple of years, which we did. And we invited Devin to come out with us on the trip. So we had this cross-country trip planned out to stop at all these parks, and it was going to be just amazing. But we invited him because we thought, you know, as we're setting up the RV at different campgrounds, we could really use some help with the dogs, stretching their legs, taking them for a little walk, making sure that they're okay while we're trying to, you know, figure out this learning curve of owning and operating an RV. It was totally impulsive, kind of on all of our parts. I mean, I don't even know if I talked to my wife beforehand, but we were like, Devin, would you like to come with us on this cross-country trip? It's going to be awesome. You know, everything's paid for, and we'll pay for a flight to fly you home if you agree to it. Because I knew the value and how awesome it would be to have a third person to bounce ideas off of, but also to help take care of the dogs while we were, you know, doing this move. And he said, I think originally he was like, I'll have to think about it. But then within the same day, he's like, I'm in. And we're like, right on, yeah, it's going to be awesome.
he was like a senior, going to be a senior in high school the following year, right? Or had he
I
graduated?
think he was, like 17. I don't remember. He was very young. Like he said, in his own words, he was a young sprout, or however he phrased it just a minute ago. So then we had Devin come out the next year to stay with the dogs while we went on a trip up to Alaska. And I think he stayed an extra week or 2 to go camping with us. We took him to Olympic. That's when we went to Rainier with Dawn, our previous guest.
Episode 8. Go listen to it.
Episode 8 and 9.
Oh, yeah. She's a doubler. Our first
two-parter.
one. Yep.
Yes, that's right. You can tell that he really cares about his community and the people around him. Something I've noticed from all of our guests is that everybody has shared a sentiment about caring about other people.
Connection. Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, it's there. Everybody cares about their people. But if we could all step up a little bit more with how we show up for people, how we show up for people that we might not even know, like our neighbors and our communities. If we can show up for people in different ways than we already do, if we could all do that together, then I think it would make the world a better place.
Yeah.
Well, I guess that concludes another episode of
Porch Swing People.
Porch Swing People, out.
Porch Swing People is recorded and produced by Lex and Gibby. Opening music was written and produced by Michael Gibson. Porch Swing People is a podcast featuring everyday people. If interested in being a guest, email us at porchswingpeeps@gmail.com.